Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis. Welcome to 49ers Live tonight here on the Monday.
Meet Asana, a work management platform that helps companies get more done and save more time. Teams can stay connected while they track updates and visualize timelines.
Here we go. So, Niners Radio 49ers Live tonight here, the Monday edition, the Monday Aftermath. Welcome here at Pete's Coffee here in San Francisco. Welcome to the Monday Night Massacre, or Monday Night, Monday edition of the known as the Aftermath. Professor B here on Niners Radio 49. As this is the Aftermath Monday, the day, the regular season, the final one for Monday edition. We're here on now on Monday night with the regular season version of Monday Night Football is done for the Raiders. There's no Monday Night Football, and the college football playoff won't resume till tomorrow or later this week. We get the chance, 49ers recapping this from yesterday. The Niners fall into the Arizona Cardinals in the regular season finale. They lose 47-24. Players yesterday or earlier today down at Santa Clara came over to the headquarters and clean out their lockers and have their final meetings with their position coaches, and the ritual after once the season is concluded. So the 49ers end up finishing the season at 6-11. Boy, what a year makes. So last year around this time, we were talking about this team was getting ready to make that run to the Super Bowl and then lose the heartbreaker to the Chiefs, and then go from that with all the injuries, all the holdouts, and with Ricky Pearsall getting shot downtown in the city right before back in late August, and then with all the injuries and coupled with the poor performances throughout the inconsistencies and all that added up to that record 6-11, 6 wins, the fewest, or that's more games that they have, fewer wins they've had than I think in the last 3 years combined. And then the first time in 4 years, 6-11. The 11 losses, by the way, are the most since 2018. That team went 4-12 that year. Not to mention the fact this is the first time, technically the first full normal year not involving COVID or pre-COVID. Niners finish not making the playoffs or having a meaningless game this stage of any season since 2018. So we just, this is kind of one of those years, the Niners just didn't get it done. We're going to recap the game. We're going to, we will also take you of what's going on, and so we're going to have a good podcast for a little bit. We'll be here till about 7 o'clock. We'll try to squeeze everything in. We're going to squeeze everything in. We'll squeeze everything in for tonight, and if you want to come on talk, or if you want to come on watch our podcast streaming live, it's Niners Radio, youtube.com/@NinersRadio49 is the site if you want to catch some Niners Radio 49. And tonight, we're also going to go back in time, though, too. We'll take a look at what's going on, and we'll give you some NFL news and notes. A lot of firings early in the day, and we'll recap this game. We'll also recap and then later this week on Thursday, we'll have another edition of Niners Radio 49. We'll probably have another one this coming Thursday when Kyle Shanahan has his final press conference. Him and John Lynch will have their final press conference, and there are going to be a lot of changes coming in the next few days They're going to, take a few days to evaluate an assessment to talk about what the team's going to need. This is going to be a different team next year, and see what they can recoup and of all the injuries and all of that. And then tonight, we're going to have a 49ers Radio 49 flashback. It was on this date 40 years ago. We're going to go back to paying homage to as we continue our series all year long, the 40 year of the Niners anniversary is the 40th anniversary of the 40-year anniversary of the 49ers winning Super Bowl 19. We're going to go back to this date today, 40 years ago today, and later on in the segment, January 6, 1985, the 49ers taking on the Chicago Bears in the NFC Championship game at Candlestick Park. We'll recap that game and as well as the AFC Championship game. Also, as well, Niners taking on the Bears at Candlestick Park. And then also in the segment, we'll take a look back of the NFC divisional playoffs 35 years ago. We pay homage to the 1989 49ers that were on a mission to take that first step of winning back-to-back Super Bowls. And really recap the Niners 41-30. Well, the Niners in the NFC title game against the Bears in their 23-0 shutout win over the Bears. And then we'll also take a look at the 49ers of their 19 divisional 5 years ago. We're going to right now going to take a look of some of the thoughts, though, from today. This was a difficult year to be a 49er fan. It was tough, injuries, maybe one of the bigger disappointments in recent time. Putting it back into perspective, a lot of expectations. This team, trying to get back. It's very difficult to do this year. And you look back, in 1995, you look back of this season, a lot of people thought the Niners could challenge for the get back there. And, I'll never forget, nothing is promised, And it was just one of those years, The Niners just didn't get it done. And we're going to, take a look back of yesterday's game. The Niners fall to the Arizona Cardinals by a score of 47-24. Niners fall 6-11. They finished dead last in the NFC West. And then I think in one of our other segments, we're going to have a look back at the 49ers awards, players getting the special awards as well. Awards getting their awards as well. And the awards were given out by the team. We're going to give you all that as well. So we're going to right now get you ready. We're going to show you this special feature. And we're just going to give you a quick recap of the game from yesterday. We will have Niners Radio 49ers Live again tomorrow. We're going to go back in time to 1984, the NFC Divisional Playoff, that as we celebrate, as we observe and commemorate the 1994 49ers winning the phrase on their journey to their 5th Super Bowl. So we're going to So, and also some other news, the 49ers, the Jets have requested to interview 49ers quarterback coach Brian Greasy. This is according by the 49ers, and we still want to try to get some injury news on Isaac Garando. I don't think we did get nothing. They had no full press conference today. They'll have the full and Drake Nugent, Tariq Owens, the son of 49ers Hall of Fame great Terrell Owens, tight end Mason Pine, and Trent Taylor. All players have finished on the 2024 season team's practice squad. So that's all the news for the 49ers today. That was the daily news. So we're going to take this break. Let's take a quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to take you back in the 49ers on Niners Radio 49 flashback to the NFC Championship game. The 49ers taking on the Chicago Bears for the right to face on the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl 19. We'll be right back right after this. You're watching 49ers Live tonight here at Pete's Coffee on Niners Radio 49. The Dolphins were back in the Super Bowl for the 5th time under Don Shula, and now the Dolphins will now await the winner of the 49ers Bears NFC Championship at Candlestick Park. And we're going to have you a little bit of a treat. We're going to show you that right now, 49ers and Bears highlights from courtesy of NFL Films from this date, January 6, 1985, at Candlestick Park. The Niners taking on the top-ranked defense of the Chicago Bears, head coach Mike Ditka, future Hall of Famer Walter Payton, Dan Hampton, and the number 1 ranked defense, Buddy Ryan's 46 defense, as the 49ers, who are on that mission, who finished the regular season 15-1 with the best record in football. They were on a mission trying to erase that bitter pill loss to the Washington Redskins in the NFC Championship game a year earlier back in Washington. That heartbreaker with 2 controversial penalties was the difference, and the Niners in '84 were on a mission, and they knew their season was not going to be considered successful if they did not win the Super Bowl. So before we get to that, the Niners picking on the Bears at Candlestick Park, and we're going to show you that clip, that film of this Niners Radio 49 flashback. The highlight look back of the 1984 NFC Championship game between the Chicago Bears and your San Francisco 49ers from January 6, 1985 in this Niners 49 flashback segment.
The last time the Chicago Bears were in a championship game was in 1963, when Coach Mike Ditka was playing tight end with the kind of intensity he now tries to instill in his players. San Francisco coach Bill Walsh has had the 49ers in the NFC Championship game 3 times in the past 4 years. And his experience in preparing for big games had to help last week, as his team faced the NFL's top-ranked rushing team featuring number 34, Walter Payton, the NFL's all-time leading rusher. On the game's opening series, Walter Payton broke a draw play for a 20-yard gain. But after that, the San Francisco defense allowed almost no space in which Payton and his amazing pair of legs could operate. The 49er linebackers closed in on the Chicago running game from all directions. Particularly active was left inside linebacker Ricky Ellison, number 50, who followed the Bears' pulling lineman until he found the ball carrier.
Behold!
Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max.
This is so cool.
It's just the beginning. The ultimate bundle for an unbelievable price.
We've never seen a force like this.
Let's go. Let's go. I am back, baby. All the best entertainment.
On the 49ers' first offensive series, Joe Montana wasted little time in getting the ball to Dwight Clark, who eluded Chicago tacklers for 38 yards and the longest pass play of the game, which set up a field goal and a 3-0 lead for San Francisco. On their next series, the Bears had the ball for only 2 plays before an interception again had Joe Montana within scoring range. This time he gave the ball to number 26, Wendell Tyler, who took off on a 25-yard run, his longest of the day. Wendell Tyler was forced out of bounds at the 2-yard line. And with a 1st and goal from the 2, the 49ers decided on a play-action pass with Joe Montana tossing to Freddie Sullivan in the left corner of the end zone. Safety Gary Fensick's interception saved a touchdown. And after one period of play, San Francisco led by a scant 3 points. In the second quarter on the 49ers' next series, Joe Montana challenged the NFL's top-ranked defense with a wide variety of calls. This time in a 14-play drive to the Chicago 3-yard line. But the Bears' defense was again able to save a touchdown when All-Pro defensive end Richard Dent spilled Wendell Tyler in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. Number 14, Ray Wersching again converted the short field goal for a 6-0 San Francisco lead. In most championship games, a 6-0 lead would not seem to be much. But in this case, it seemed very large indeed, mainly because number 4, Chicago quarterback Steve Fuller, was held to a net passing total of 0 yards in the first half, while being sacked 3 times, twice by number 95, 281-pound rookie nose tackle and ex-Olympian Michael Carter. Both defenses had played well in the first half, one team yielding no points and the other just 6. But with 30 minutes remaining, the outlook for Chicago was decidedly bleak. Clinging to a 6-0 lead, San Francisco finally felt the heat of the Chicago pass rush when Bear tackle Steve McMichael, number 76, combined both finesse and power to reach quarterback Joe Montana for one of 2 third-quarter sacks. Montana did not complete a single pass on the 49ers' first 2 possessions of the period. Instead, he fed the ball to Wendell Tyler, number 26. Tyler averaged close to 7 yards a carry, and his touchdown was a testament to individual effort as he shed 3 tacklers on his 9-yard scoring run. With a 13-0 lead, Gary Johnson, number 97, and the 49er defense cut loose a world-class pass rush of their own. During the week before the game, Chicago's league-leading sack troops received most of the media attention. But on the day of the game, the 49ers provided state-of-the-art stats, sacking Bear quarterback Steve Fuller 9 times. As a result, the Bears never got inside the 49ers' 20-yard line. In the final period, San Francisco began their longest touchdown drive of the afternoon, 88 yards, and the big play of the drive belonged to running back Roger Craig, number 33. Craig's 39-yard sprint was his longest of the season and set up a short scoring pass from Montana to Freddie Sullivan, number 88. Montana managed to avoid the Bears' rush with 3-step drops and sprint outs that allowed him to get outside the sack zone before Chicago could react. A third Ray Wersching field goal upped the 49er lead to 23-0. And on the final play of the game, with no 49ers burned the Bears' league-leading defense for 387 yards and held Chicago to 37 net yards passing. The San Francisco defense had allowed but one field goal in 2 playoff games, but it remains to be seen if they will enjoy that kind of success in the Super Bowl against the Miami Dolphins, who have a habit of scoring at will. For Mike Ditka, it was an agonizing finale. The Bears, as the song goes, left their hearts in San Francisco. In this case, hearts left broken on the floor of Candlestick Park. But they did not reach the NFC Championship game, even if they have to wait another.
All right, that was a look back for the 1984 NFC Championship game. The 49ers with a convincing 23-0 shutout against the big bad Chicago Bears playing in the NFC Championship game. And this was the first of many big head-to-head matchups through the Niners doing their run, especially during the mid-'80s. And this was in perspective, as yours truly, my mother went to that NFC title game out at Candlestick Park back on this date 40 years ago, January 6, 1985. This was like a week after I just turned 8 years old, and we just recently had moved right near the stadium, right by Candlestick at those old Double Rock projects in the city. And I'll never forget, leading up to the game, the parking lots was just jammed, the dirt lots, and the faithful was there that day at Candlestick Park on that day, January 6, 1985. The 49ers shutting out the Bears 23-0 as the 49ers were going to advance to the Super Bowl for the second time in 4 years. And we're going to now take a look back of that score. We just give you a recap of that score. Coming up next on Niners Radio Fault, coming up in a few moments, we're going to take a recap of the 35th anniversary of the Niners Super Bowl run towards the NFC Divisional Playoffs. We recap that in just a few moments, and we'll take a look at the NFC Championship game that was being at Candlestick. Niners taking on the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl 19 down at Palo Alto Stanford Stadium, where Bill Walsh, old stomping grounds, where he coached for a couple of years prior to joining the 49ers in 1979. So the 49ers, best record in football. They've now won 17 of their last 18 games, including the 2 playoff games. And, the Niners going to face the Miami Dolphins, the 2 quarterbacks from Pennsylvania in the western PA, Joe Montana against Dan Marino and the high explosive Niner offense, or Dolphins offense, scoring more points than any team in pro football. The league MVP Marino, Joe Montana, the NFC's top-rated passer, and the underrated Niner defense, which sent their entire secondary, end up going to the Pro Bowl that year. So that's the matchup everybody wants. And then, in a couple weeks from now, I think in 2 weeks from now, we'll take you a look back of our next Niner Radio flashback of Super Bowl 19 in a couple of weeks. We'll take a look back at that Dolphins Super Bowl 19 matchup at Stanford's Stadium in Palo Alto from January 20th, 1985 in Palo Alto. And the 49ers trying to reestablish themselves, is now moving one game closer to winning their second Super Bowl title in 4 years, and really putting them in taking that next step of getting that claim to be claimed to being the team of the 1980s. So the Niners end up, they'll be playing them in 2 weeks' time. In our next Niners Radio 49 flashback, we'll take a look in the Super Bowl 19 Niners and Dolphins from Stanford Stadium on January 20th, 1985. We'll give you the highlights of that when we have that chance. So we are going to take a quick timeout, and in our next segment, we'll take a look back of Super Bowl of the 49ers of the 1989 Niners celebrating their 35th anniversary. The 49ers taking on the Minnesota Vikings on this date on Saturday, January 6, 1990 at Candlestick Park. Niners taking their first step as beginning their first step in their title defense as Super Bowl champions, taking on the Vikings at Candlestick Park. Let's take this timeout. We'll be right back. Professor B here at Pete's Coffee. You're watching 49ers Live, Monday night edition, the final edition for the regular season. The aftermath, final aftermath episode. So it's at 11, and we'll take this time out. You're watching 49ers Live tonight, Monday, the aftermath on Niners Radio 49. Welcome back on Niners Radio 49. For watching 49ers Live tonight, Monday edition, the aftermath. We do this every Monday following a Niners win. Niners fall to the Cardinals yesterday, 47-24, as the Niners finished the season 6-11. Remember, they were 5-4 after their win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but after that, they would only end up finishing the season losers of 7 of their last 8 games, including finishing the year with a 4-game losing streak. Just a rough year with all the injuries, all the stuff that happened. And we're going to, by the way, we will definitely try to get Matt Mayoko from NBC Sports Bay Area to come on to us later this week or in the next several days, get some Niners insiders like Matt Mayoko of NBC Sports Bay Area to come on our podcast and our podcast, and we'll also get some other people, Niners insiders, just to recap the season, where the 49ers go from here. So just if you want to check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@NinersRadio49, please click the subscribe button. Our mission is to try to get 1,000 subscribers as we continue to build this thing, this podcast, into a platform that I want to kind of do as my work, though. So go to youtube.com/@NinersRadio49. And don't forget, please click on the subscribe button. So we continue on Niners Radio 49. We're going to go to our second Niners Radio 49 flashback. We take a look back of the 1989 San Francisco 49ers as we're paying homage, and they're celebrating its 35-year anniversary of the 49ers winning back-to-back Super Bowls, which just hit the reset button where the Niners are coming off their bye week. They finished the regular season with a 14-2 record, with the best record in the NFL. Second time in the last 3 years that the 49ers finished with the best record in the NFL, and also marked for the 7th consecutive year, 7th straight year that the 49ers win at least 10 games or more for the 7th straight time. This is going back to 1983. This was a stretch where the 49ers would win at least 10 or more games for 16 straight years. So the Niners now, with their bye week came and went, the Niners getting back to work, getting ready to play getting their week off, getting rested through the holidays. They're taking that break and, getting ready to take that first step, being on the mission to take that first step towards winning back-to-back Super Bowls, as they trying to position themselves to keep that claim of the team of the decade, as they starting off this first the new decade of the 1990s, some 35 years ago. I don't feel like 35 years ago wasn't not that long ago. And that was, of course, back in January of 1990. I would have just turned 13 and currently would be in the 7th grade in junior high and middle school. So this is an intriguing matchup. 49ers taking on the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs. And before we go to that, we're going to, we're going to just give you just a brief, quick recap as the 49ers will take on the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC Divisional Playoff. And just a quick recap for the previous games. It was in the Divisional Playoff. It was the Rams upsetting the Philadelphia Eagles 21-7. So as a result, the Rams will now play the New York Giants in the Divisional Playoff. And with the Eagles out, the Niners will play the Minnesota Vikings into the champions of the NFC Central. They're playing their Divisional Playoff. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers going down to the Astrodome in Houston, upsetting the Houston Oilers 26-23 in overtime. This Pittsburgh Steelers team, similar like the 84 Steelers, Chuck Noll's Steelers, maybe his best coaching seasons, underrated teams, both the 84 team going all the way to the AFC Championship game, and this group of Steelers knocking off the Oilers, Jerry Glanville's House of Pain Oilers team. A team who was outscored, had a minus 30 in the point differential, dead last in the worst offense of all of football, come into the Astrodome and knock off the Houston Oilers in the outspoken Jerry Glanville. And this was, by the way, the the third time that these teams would ever meet in postseason play. They've met 4 times overall in their history, and the Steelers won them both back in 1978 and 79 the Steelers AFC championships. This is the third time they met. They've met 4 times in the postseason. Steelers winning 3 of 4 times in that great Oilers/Titans rivalry. So, and as a result, with the Oilers got knocked out, eliminated, that was the last game for Jerry Glanville because him and the Oilers parted ways after the season concluded. Glanville, and to give credit to the Steelers, this Steeler team was 4-6, and they end up winning 5 of their final 6 games to get into the playoffs. This same Steeler team who end up beating this Oiler team, this brash, outspoken Oiler team by head coach Jerry Glanville, as they were outgained 380 yards, or the Steelers only had 289 total yards offense to the Oilers 380. And then, of course, as a result of this, Jerry Glanville was fired a few days after this game concluded. And this was a satisfying win for the Steelers, who started the season. This was the same Steeler team who got mollywopped by their longtime nemesis, the Cleveland Browns, 51-0 back in week 1, and maybe one of the worst home losses is the worst home loss Steelers lost by any Steeler team ever since the Three River Stadium opened for business back in 1970. Then they were blown out by the defending AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals, 41-10 in week 2. They were shut out 3 times and outgained by their opponents in 10 consecutive games, and they were able to recover 4-6 and won 5 of their last 6 just to get into the playoffs. So this was a satisfying win, and it doesn't matter how you start. It's the way how you finish in the playoffs. The postseason is a second season, and what you did in the postseason, that all thrown out of the book. So credit to Chuck Noll getting a win against a very powerful Houston Oilers team. So now we go to the divisional playoffs. The Cleveland Browns, the champions of the AFC Central Division, this was their 4th division title in the last 5 years. This is their 5th straight trip to the postseason. This time, this Browns team was coached by Bud Carson. They're taking on a Buffalo Bills team that won the AFC East, 9-7 record, and they really had some times of inconsistency. The Bills won their 2nd straight AFC East title, and not by a big margin, just barely. And this game was played on January 6, 1990 at Cleveland's Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. The kickoff time was at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. The attendance was 77,706. Game refereed by Dick Jorgensen, who would be the referee for Super Bowl 24. The game was on NBC, both by the late Charlie Jones, play-by-play, and Merlin Olsen. So it was the Browns equaling out by the Buffalo Bills 34-30, and it was Clay Matthews' big interception. It was a deflected pass by attended receiver Ronnie Harmon, who dropped a potential game-winning touchdown pass in the end zone, and then after that, Jim Kelly was intercepted by veteran linebacker Clay Matthews on the next play. Eric Metcalf finished the game with 169 all-purpose yards, and he was a good back. And Thurman Thomas set a playoff record with 13 receptions for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns and a losing effort. He also rushed for 27 yards. This was the first ever postseason meeting between the Bills and Browns, and this was kind of that cold weather smash mouth Midwestern type, 2 blue-collar cities, Buffalo and Cleveland. So the Browns would now advance to the AFC Championship game for the 4th time in 5 years. They will take on the winner of the Denver Broncos-Pittsburgh Steelers game. So now we go to the NFC Divisional Playoff. We'll give you a recap of that in just a few moments' time. As in our segment, we'll show you our Niners Radio flashback segment, Niners and Vikings, January 6, 1990, at Candlestick Park. as the Niners taking their first step of defending their crown, of getting back to the Super Bowl, defending their crown, to make it back-to-back. We're going to show you that highlight in just right now.
Big money game, big day, baby. This is what we live for, JT. This is what we live for, baby. Who can outdo who? Only the strong survive, baby. That's what we're here for. Kick their ass. That's what we gotta do today. Payday. Payday.
Chance of a lifetime. Let's go. Ready? Yeah. This is the first game on a journey to the Super Bowl. We just gotta go. Let's go. Let's go.
In the playoffs, the 49ers met the star-studded Minnesota Vikings and torched the NFL's best defense with their deadliest weapon.
And drops back to throw. Goes across the middle. It is complete to Rice. Rice to the 45. He's to the 50. He breaks through. He's down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's to the 10. 5. Touchdown 49ers.
Way to go, Joe. Way to pick him out, baby. Harry's playing a little fire out there. You see him? He peeled out and he came up the field, man, and he steeled me right in, man. I never even saw him. I never even saw it again.
But the Vikings hadn't seen anything yet. The NFL sack leaders never laid a glove on Joe Montana, who looked as good heading for a fourth championship as he had going for his first. Montana threw the Vikings with surprising ease, burying them in the second quarter with an avalanche of touchdowns.
Montana slips a little bit. Has to roll out to the right. Looking to throw. Can't find anybody. Goes for the end zone. Jones! Touchdown 49ers! Montana with a fake. Carries it himself. Rolling to the right. Throws to the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown 49ers. John Taylor. Montana straight back to throw, looks over the field, goes for the end zone. Jerry Rice across the middle. Touchdown 49ers one more time.
San Francisco's offensive barrage overshadowed a big play day by the 49ers defense that totaled 4 sacks and 5 takeaways against the bewildered Vikings.
Back to throw. Down the right side is picked by Ronnie Lott, and he's got a lane. He's to the 40. He's to the 30. He's running hard to the 15. To the 10. He's into the end zone. Ronnie Lott, the interception touchdown for the 49ers.
Number one. 49ers, number one.
And off to Roger, right up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers.
Congratulations, a great win, no doubt about it. Remember, a lot of humility now when we're talking with reporters. We got another game. That's what we focus on is the next game. We're not talking about anything else, just the next game. Whichever opponent it is, so be it. We got a lot of humility, guys. Good job out there today.
Wow, great memories. Niners convincing 41-13 win over the Minnesota Vikings, who had the number 1 ranked defense in all of football. Remember, they end up put all their poker chips on the table by going all for a shot at the Super Bowl by giving up their mortgage, their future, when I think it was Floyd Reese, their general manager, pulled off the blockbuster trade when they sent Herschel Walker to the struggling Cowboys. Herschel Walker to the Dallas Cowboys to the Minnesota Vikings for future draft choices, and boy, in perspective, for the Dallas Cowboys, may have been the best thing that could ever happen, because the Vikings mortgaged their future, and the Cowboys got multiple draft picks, and those picks, including Emmitt Smith and others, was the key to the Cowboys winning 3 Super Bowls in the 90s, 3 of the next 4 years. And we know that, like the great legend, the late Paul Harvey said, the rest of the story. Okay, so let's continue on Niners Radio 49ers Live to Monday. The final the final edition of the Aftermath. We do this every Monday night after every 49ers game during the season. We also do a few times, we do on several occasions of the year, we do a special Tuesday edition. If the Niners played on Monday Night Football, we'll do a Tuesday edition, or if they played on a Thursday night football, we do a Friday edition as well on several occasions throughout the season. So now we will, as we continue on, we'll take a look at the 1989 NFL playoffs. Now it's the new year, as Elway and Broncos head coach Dan Reeves. So it's all set. The 49ers will take on the Denver the LA Rams for the NFC Championship for the right to go to Super Bowl 24 in New Orleans. And then the AFC Championship, Broncos facing the Browns. This was the third time these two teams hook up in the AFC Championship. And again, this one will be in Denver. We all remember the Broncos beating them in the 86 AFC title game in Cleveland. John Elway, the 98-yard drive, and then they end up tying that game, a game the Broncos would win in overtime. And then in the 87 AFC Championship game in Denver, Ernest Spiner and the fumble looked like he was going to score a potential game-tying touchdown, or if he fell short, at worst, it would be first and goal with 4 more cracks again in the end zone. So that was how it is, that how it went. So next week we will recap on our 35th year anniversary of the Niners' 89 championship. We'll look back of the NFC Championship, both NFC, AFC, the Niners taking on the Rams at Candlestick Park, and the Broncos taking on the Steelers. And then for the next week, and then in 2 weeks, we'll take a look back at Super Bowl 19, Niners and Miami Dolphins at Stanford Stadium in Palo Alto. Now, tomorrow on our Niners Radio 49 Flashback, we'll look back at the 1994 NFC Divisional Playoff as we celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the Niners' last Super Bowl win. Niners taking on the Chicago Bears at Candlestick Park. And this Niners team, the Steve Young Niners, that they trying to shoot for their 5th Super Bowl and try to get back to the Dallas Cowboys, what they did in the playoffs in back-to-back years. So we are going to getting ready to wrap it up in a few minutes' time. And before we do, we're going to and we'll look up the 2024 49ers Team Awards for 2024 before we get out of Dodge. Some of the awards, we want to make it very quick because we're getting ready to close up shop in a few moments' time as we're at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to quickly look at the following awards. The Len Eschmont Award winner, that's been given to tight end George Kittle. That's voted on by players, given to the 49ers best, exemplifies the most inspiration, courageous play of Len Eschmont, the original member of the 49ers of 1946. And then he died in 1957. The award was established that year. Fred Warner was named the Bill Walsh Award winner. That was established in 2004 in honor of the Hall of Fame coach, which is voted by the coaching staff as given to a 49er that represent the standard of professional excellence established by Walsh. Walsh served. And then the Bob McKittrick Award winner goes to Jake Brendel, annually given to the best Niner, the late Bob McKittrick, who, of course, nearly 25 years ago lost his battle with cancer, and he showed the courage and intensity specified longtime offensive line coach, his 21 years of service. The award was established by the Niners in 1999, voted by the offensive line. Then the Hazeltine Ironman Award goes to Fred Warner. I think it was well-deserved. Former linebacker Matt Hazeltine, a 13-year performer, played more seasons than linebacker than any 49er player, known for his durability and dedication. Hazeltine passed away in 1987 from ALS, known as the Lou Gehrig's disease. Bill Walsh established that award to his honor that year. The award is given to the most courageous, inspirational defensive player, voted by defensive coaches. And then the Thomas Harrigan Award, that's a special award. Thomas Harrigan, the Niners rookie who passed away, unexpectedly collapsed after a preseason Niner game in Denver nearly 2 decades ago. That was established back in 2005 by 49er owners Denise and John York, presented by a rookie, a first-year player who represents the dream of Thomas Harrigan. The recipient take advantage of every opportunity, turned into a positive situation, and made their dream into reality. The award is voted by on as coaches. Then the Ed Block Courage Award, wide receiver Ricky Pearsall. The Ed Block Courage Award given to the former athletic trainer of the Baltimore Colts of 23 years. Block was a pioneer, professional, well-respected humanitarian, and passionate cause helping children abuse. The award presented each year, sportsmanship and courage. And this was an award, I think, well-deserved after what he overcome this year with him getting shot down there on Union Square back in late August. And then Curtis Robinson named the Perry Unity Award winner. And then Community Service Relations Awards. And the Walter Payton Man nominated Curtis Robinson. George Kittle won the Gary Never Award. And that was that. So we're getting ready to wrap it up. This is our final Monday night after math show after we do it after every 49ers home game, and we're going to wrap it up tonight. The injuries, and maybe it's a good thing, you know, the Niners have played in 3 straight NFC Championship games 3 years in a row, 4 of the last 5 years, and you know, and sooner or later, you know, the body takes its toll, and it's something to have to give, and for them to get a rest and hopefully heal up, and you know, hopefully they can get back on track, you know, next year, and we'll be giving you all a lot of 49ers news throughout the offseason and so much more, and all the latest Niners news and so much more, go to 49ers.com. And for our final segment, as we leave you tonight, we'll take a look at the final segment on Niners Radio 49 on 49ers Live tonight. This was from the 49er fan rally right before Monday Night Football. And we'd like to thank all of you all year long. And don't forget, we will have off season. We'll try to get people to come on Niners Radio 49. 49ers Live Monday. The Aftermath is association with Niners Radio 49, association with the Satellite Digital Media News Network. Every team has a fan, every fan has a voice. The network home of champions. As we leave you tonight,
I love feeling it. It's love, you know what I mean? Feeling the love, like I said, giving holiday cheer. That's what this time is about. That's what we need right now in this world. Man, to be able to come and feel that, however you can get it, you know what I mean, is so good. But to get it this way, and for people to see you and understand that this doesn't just happen. You don't just wake up someday and score touchdowns. You have to work hard at it. And I think that the fans understand that, and I really appreciate it too, that they give that to me.